Hello, you're watching The Buzz here at WCTV with me, your host, Queen Banda. Today with me in studio is Bethany Pierce and Jeff Lawson. They are the Angry Ginger Band. However, I've been told that that is no longer the case. It's a different name, so let's get to it to know what's the name change. Let's meet them and get to know them, who they are. So may I please start with you, Sir Jeff? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I play guitar, I write songs, but I've been playing music since I was 15.
Wow.
And I've played all over.
I'm Bethany Pierce, and I grew up here in Wareham.
Yes.
And I'm a singer-songwriter, and we write music together.
So, down to serious business. What's the name change? And before we get to the name change, Angry Gingers.
Yeah.
Who came up with that?
Our old bass player.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, kind of weird. We were trying to think of a name for the band. We had formed the band with some friends that we knew, and it was almost I wouldn't say it was like a dig.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't something. I don't think it was a compliment toward me.
Yeah. She's not angry, but as you can see, she's a ginger or a redhead. It wasn't until I have an album out that I put out, and Pixie 103 on Cape plays it every once in a while. They announced my song one night in a local music showcase, and they announced that I had a new band called Angry Ginger, and I don't know how they got the information. And it kind of just took a life of its own, so we looked at each other and said, I guess that's what it is. And it just stuck, and it is a catchy name.
Yes.
And we liked it, and we stuck with it for a couple of years. We came out with an album, and the album name was called Love in Hell. And we had 7 songs we had written, and we came out with that album under Angry Ginger. And we did a lot of shows on that album, played all over. And then the name changed, and she can...
Wow.
Tell about the name change.
Now, with Angry Ginger, that's when I first came to light about the story through Wareham Week. You know, they did a lovely job. They covered Angry Gingers and, you know, the love between you guys and all of that. And I was like, okay, I need to bring them in the studio. And I was telling my boss, okay, I'm having an interview with Angry Gingers. That's all I said. And he's like, what are you talking about? You know, because that was everybody's questions. Like, please ask that question. So we go online and I type in and the pictures come, and there's a picture of you with like the red of hair.
Yes.
So I said, you know what? I can actually see it now.
Yeah.
I can see the name to it, you know.
Yeah.
So did you feel like you had to be a certain way because of the name of the band?
I don't know. It was such a weird way that the name came. You know, obviously my hair, this is my natural color. But my hair was more orange and bright colored. And as a kid growing up, everyone always knew me for my hair. It was like, you're the redhead girl, you're the redhead girl, you're the redhead girl.
I can't catch up to your thoughts of where you've been, and you've got boxes filled with memories you cannot forget. When will they be filled with me instead?
Now, okay, so the name has changed to Plastic Angels.
Yes, Plastic Angels, yep.
Okay, still, Plastic Angels. Tell us, why Plastic Angels?
Well, we had made a connection with a Grammy-nominated producer out of New York.
Okay.
And we happened to catch him on his plane when he was coming back from the Grammys. And via email, we talked through Bethany had talked to him through email. And he listened to our existing music under Angry Ginger. Obviously, I hope he knew we had some skill in songwriting, and agreed to work with us. And but not without kind of auditioning through our iPhones. We had to make iPhone recordings on the spot and like send them to him so he could listen to them from our living room on the spot, because he wanted to know that we were the real deal and not just some recording. So we did that, and he turned around and agreed to work with us, and we then went down to Brooklyn, New York, to his studio, Studio G, and met with him, and we actually started pre-production right there, going through the 4 song choices, but he had also made mention that it wasn't until we actually went into record that he made mention that Angry Ginger didn't quite fit. It was like a month of nonstop racking our brains, constantly texting back and forth to just hear no, no, no. After every name we would come up with, no, 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 no.
Some of the choices?
Oh, I don't.
There were so many.
There's so many.
I was picking names that I didn't even like, just to try to pick something.
Yeah, and
and
then it was just one day, like maybe a little over a month later, we came up with Plastic Angels, and he liked it, and we were like, really? No. What? And he said he loved it, and it kind of fit with the music style, which was more of a pop rock style, and it just kind of worked out that way.
Do you like Plastic Angels?
Yeah. When we came home, we felt like our whole world had really changed. It kind of opened up when you travel and you go somewhere new and you work with new people and you learn. And
the music changed, the name changed. We thought, let's just go with it.
You spoke about your first album that you made, Love in Hell.
Yes.
Okay, that's a very interesting name. Once again, that's very creative. Love, why in hell? But okay.
Well, I write the music and the chord melodies, and she comes up with the stories and the words. So she would probably be better.
It's not about us, I promise.
Okay, no, you know what? It's all right. One of my co-workers asked, "Oh, do you think their songs is like Taylor Swift, where it's like they tell the truth?" I'm like, you know what? I will ask. So
yeah, I mean, some of the songs I have written songs about him and our relationship and things like that, and that's part of us too as a songwriting duo. That there's been it's kind of silly, but this is our songwriting method. Usually consists of him. You know, he'll be playing guitar, and I hear something that I really like, and I go off in the bedroom by myself with a recording of it, and come out and with something that I've written, with his chords and so I write all the words, and there have been times where I come out of the bedroom and I'm like, okay, I wrote this song. And he knows it's about him. He knows parts of it are about our relationship, and that's something that, for us, we kind of always have had this understanding that we just write from the heart.
Whatever comes out, comes
whatever
out.
Whatever comes out, comes out, and we don't take it personally.
Oh, okay.
But no.
That song actually was inspired by people that I've met before that he knows, and it was kind of, he had this really creepy guitar riff. Whenever I hear like something that he writes, I characterize it in my mind like, that sounds creepy, or that sounds like this or that, and I get pictures in my brain. That's just how I hear songs and I get a picture.
Yeah. Now, I know this entire process of being an artist is through being inspired.
Correct.
But you are trying to be a professional artist, and you have to keep producing new stuff.
Yes.
Now, how does that work when you're really not feeling the music?
You don't write.
Really? Is that just
yes, you're right about the inspiration thing, and sometimes it's there and sometimes it's not. And you can't be afraid of putting those days aside where it's not. You put too much pressure on yourself, and then you won't write anything good. So
we don't really have a consistent writing.
So there's no schedule on your wall, like, okay, by today I have to write this many words, or by this month I have to come up with a song.
We'll kind of know roughly, okay, we want to come out with this much music within a year, or some kind of long time frame like that. But there are some times that we write 2 or 3 songs in a week or 2 weeks, and other times that we haven't written anything in months. And we just kind of...
And you understand that about yourself, so you don't feel bad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're not under a record contract yet, so the pressure's not quite there. What we're hoping for, a record contract,
You mentioned that your style of writing is influenced by famous musicians such as David Bazzana, I believe, and Gwen Stefani. What about their way of writing touches you?
Well, they're 2 totally different artists.
Yeah.
And that's true. I grew up on so many different kinds of music. My father's a minister, so I grew up with a lot of gospel music, a lot of music that told stories just regularly. And David Bazan is an artist that he's more of a poet. I see him that way anyway, and he does write a lot of stories in his music, and sometimes not so happy stories.
Yes.
And then you have someone like Gwen Stefani and No Doubt, that's when I was a kid in the 90s, that's really one of the only female artists that was out in the mainstream in rock music.
Yes, yeah.
So, and I really always loved her voice. I always loved her stage presence, and it's just, I guess that's what you grow up with, and you don't even realize that you're being influenced by those things until you start writing music, and then you go, oh, wow, this reminds me of so-and-so, or, you know.
Now, when you write, do you keep them in mind, or you just write your own piece, and then when you review it, that's when it comes to you?
Yeah, I think it's later.
Okay.
When we listen to it, and then I go, oh my goodness, this reminds me of so-and-so.
Yes.
No wonder I wrote this song. It sounds a lot like this person, because I used to listen to them all the time, or, things like that.
Yeah, you can't help but for your influences to come through you no matter what.
Yes. And you mentioned in the same interview that you grew up with the 60s, 70s, and 80s rock, and you consider yourself mostly an instrumentist, and the main people who influenced you the most were Jimi Hendrix and blues musicians.
Yes, I love the blues.
Do you feel the pressure that you have to produce mainstream certain way of songs in order to get that record deal, in order to sell music?
Well, according, I think one of the things we're figuring out is we have to stay true to ourselves.
Okay.
But there is that kind of, I guess how A&R people work for record companies is when they go around and look at people, they go, okay, we need to get people in here that are appropriate to what's going on in the music industry now. And we're kind of feeling that a little bit. But music moves so quickly now with the digital age and downloading, and what is a hit this week, 2 weeks from now, you forget all about because music moves so fast. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We're just trying to, again, stay true to ourselves, and our producer, Joel Hamilton, he just said the same thing. He's like, just be you.
Now, to how much do you really have to love what you do? Because when you hear somebody say you have to love what you do, how much do you really need to stay strong to that idea?
People can be so hard. And you have to really just believe in yourself. I mean, we always joke with ourselves and other musicians, there's that, that self-doubt that musicians are plagued with, that they live with, and it's true. But if you love what you're doing and you have a dream, you keep going.
You keep going.
And it's okay for people not to love your music. It's okay for people not to be like, yeah, that song sucks, or that song is cheesy or whatever. You're always going to get that.
Yes.
So you can't be afraid of that.
Yeah. So, okay, what's coming up with you guys? The wedding.
Yeah.
Which is coming up very soon. What about the band, the Plastic Angels? What's coming up?
Yeah, we just released the EP maybe a month ago. I think on the 20th. So we're promoting that, which is one of the main reasons we're here today. And we're hoping to get some shows in New York. We've made some great friends in New York while we were there. And
we're at the Cape Cod Brew Fest.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's coming up.
Wow.
And we're looking to probably book an East Coast tour, maybe in the spring. And just kind of go down the coast and play different venues.
Well, congratulations, early congratulations for your wedding.
Thank you.
Thank you both for coming to our studios.
Great, thanks.
I wish you the best in your journey as a couple and as a band, Plastic Angels. Thank you so much for watching The Buzz here at WCTV with me, your host, Quinn Banda. With that, have a wonderful day. Bye.
No, I won't catch up to your thoughts of where you've been. And you've got boxes filled with memories you cannot forget. When